beautiful life.
สวัสดีครับ Good afternoon and welcome to A Beautiful Life on englishonline.rmutp.ac.th. My name is อาจารย์เกษม พุทธเรืองศรี your host for the program. A Beautiful Life is a program broadcasted every Monday from 1 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. Articles and information about life lessons or good phrases from the books or websites will be presented in this program together with the latest news from ราชมงคล University of Technology พระนคร for you to enjoy. Today we start with the article from Channel News Asia Insider. The article is about, they said I met a writer aged 84. His story challenges the stereotype of uneducated seniors. I would hail. So they start with Tan Kok Seng completed only primary school but ended up publishing 3 autobiographies and a novel. Our Gen Z writer met him at a human library and heard stories of Singapore that history texts cannot truly capture. Reported from Singapore, taking my seat at a table in the reunion space at the National Museum of Singapore, the writer said I wondered what I might learn about Singapore's history from a senior. After all, it was my first time at a human library and I was anticipating stories from the human book whose term I was borrowing. Megan with Seniors is a regular event organized by digital magazine Ageless Online intended to create a place for people to get to know complete strangers intergenerationally and make seniors in Singapore feel heard and valued. But this session was rather special. The 5 seniors in attendance all feature in the series. Let me tell you a story airing on August the 8th and August the 9th, which center around the story of seniors who have experienced Singapore's history firsthand. Among them are a former midwife who worked in villages during the baby boom, a coolie who went on to publish 4 books, and an Indian Chinese woman who speaks 7 languages and was in an arranged marriage as a child. My table had the company of Uncle Tan Kok Seng. All I knew about him was the introductions and the documentary trailers was that he wrote a book, Son of Singapore. What I heard during a 3-hour-long conversation with him were stories no history book could truly capture. The title about From Coconut Farm to Orchard Road. They said Uncle Tan had a kind smile and seemed much younger than his 84 years. Certainly, he displayed the memory of a young man. He even remembered a Japanese occupation. One day, for example, he was with his father, which he saw many birds flying above. In fact, they were playing, and his father told him the Japanese whole surrendered. So you can watch a video from YouTube telling about Let Me Tell You a Story, live interpreted. It is about 46 minutes and 52 seconds. Asks if those early memories tormented him. He told us simply, I don't think about those times. I live in the present. That's how I can be so happy. It was after Singapore reverted to British rule when he embarked on the adventure of his youth at the age of 15. He left his family's coconut farm in Pangkol to become a coolie. Our house was too crowded, so I ran away, laughed the man who grew up with 6 brothers and 5 sisters. Seeking independence, he lived in shop house at the old Orchard Road Market, where he sold and delivered goods 6 days a week. So you can watch a video. The name is Let Me Tell You a Story Growing Pains. It is about 46 minutes and 12 seconds. Next, what intrigued the 20-somethings at my table, however, was how he got from Bangkok to Orchard Road by bus. It seemed it came as a surprise that almost 70 years ago there were bus routes to Singapore rural areas. We also learned that bus rides were not staffed back then, as we had imagined, but would cool comfortable even with no air conditioning. When asked why that was, Uncle Tan paused to think before suggesting that fewer roads and a lack of tall buildings meant Singapore was cooler then. He had completed only primary school before he started working, which even without the years of formal education we are accustomed to nowadays. His answers were insightful, and his story challenges the stereotype of uneducated seniors I had unknowingly held. The topic next, picking up languages left, right, and center. In his time as the coolie, Uncle Tan met people from around the world. Through these interactions, he learned Malay, English, and more. The native Teochew speaker picked up Hainanese from the chef. He delivered grocery to the Hokkien while working in the market. At the same time, he was surprised by British officers who spoke fluent Hokkien and Cantonese. As a student of linguistics and multilingual studies at the university, I was floored. Learning all these languages was not easy, Uncle Tan shared, but nothing too even easy. He told us English, for example, was utterly foreign to him, but he made the effort to learn to it from the British officer he befriended. As he wrote in Son of Singapore, how is it there are all these foreigners speaking our languages, yet I cannot speak one of theirs. In the time before the internet and the magic of instant translation, he managed to learn by talking to different people day after day and by carrying pocket dictionaries. He is grateful to have learned English all these years ago. He said it stands him in good state when he communicates with his grandchildren and great grandchildren who do not speak much Mandarin and no longer know their native Teochew. I talk to them in my broken English, he said with a laugh and tapped his smartphone, and they teach me how to use this. For him, learning to use the smartphone has been more difficult than picking up the languages he did. The next topic is too good a story to keep to himself. His journey as a writer on the other hand, started purely by chance. After he traveled to the United Kingdom with his British friends and experiences the happy culture of the 1960s. This new Western world was a culture shock for him, coming as he did from conservative Singapore. It made him want his life story to be a legacy he could leave to his children. Later on, while working in Hong Kong and as a driver for a British diplomat he had befriended previously, he began to write Son of Singapore at night in his quarters. The Briton interview asked if he could read the book as it was written in Mandarin. Uncle Tan translated some excerpts and read them out in his words. He told me, Gok Seng, this is too good to keep to yourself. You must publish this. Uncle Tan recounted. I told him there's no way I can write this in English. His boss was insistent and offered to write it for him. So night after night, Uncle Tan went to his boss's office and dictated the book. Together they painted it over the course of several months. His first autobiography did so well. He followed it up with Man of Malaysia before he concluded his biographical trilogy with Art on the World. Then he was storying evolved as the wrote his only novel, Three Sisters of This is 4 more books than he originally planned to write. And the next topic, maybe the last topic, was what Uncle Tan does nowadays. As we came to the end of the conversation, I asked Uncle Tan what he does in his free time now. He reads a lot, news, fiction, non-fiction, and just about everything. My eyesight still allows me to read, so I am thankful, he said. We also asked him if he watched television very much, as same senior do. He said he only really watched news and documentaries. His love of storytelling made me realize how valuable it was to hear his stories in his own words. Hearing about the intricacy of his life, I realized that history books do not do justice to the experiences of the generations before ours. Besides Uncle Tan, the series Let Me Tell You a Story feature Rasamal Nadayang, who was raised in poverty and was in an arranged marriage. Her story spoke to me because of the marriage of languages she spoke, like Kum Yung. Meanwhile, was a midwife who once delivered a baby in a car. Even though the baby had emerged backwards, I could not hear their story all in one afternoon, but the experience reminded me of these chats I had with my grandparents as a child, and my senses of wonder at the people who have lived through Singapore history. So you can watch more about this from China News Asia Insider. About I met a writer age 84. His story challenges the stereotype of an educated senior I would hold. So read more information about this from China News Asia. We'll be right back after a short break. You are listening to A Beautiful Life on englishonline.rmutp.ac.th. We are back to the entertainment part from Channel News Asia. They said enjoy more than 600 hours of Thai drama shows on Me Watch, including Love, Destiny, and Dare to Love. Selected shows will also screen on free-to-air platform Channel U. They say Singapore Media Network MediaCorp announced on Thursday, August the 24th, that it has partnered with Thai entertainment platform BEC World Public Company Limited or BEC to roll out more than 600 hours of Thai dramas on digital video service Me Watch for free. Selected shows will be also aired on free-to-air platform Channel U, said Lee Hong Sheng, MediaCorp's head of audience and partnership. This collaboration underscores our commitment to cater to the diverse, dynamic tastes of local audience with an ever expanding slate of content offerings across our media network. Here are some of the Thai shows viewer can expect on Me Watch. The first one, Love Destiny Season 1 and Season 2, set during the reign of King Narai of the Ayutthaya Kingdom. Love Destiny follow the tale of a kind-hearted woman, Gesurang, whose soul is transported back in time to live in the body of another woman who has been cursed for plotting a murder. As Gesurang navigates the paths, her antics slowly earn the affection of Date. But will they be together and live happily ever after? So you can watch more about Love Destiny Season 1 and Season 2. The next one, Dare to Love. Tisha is an ambitious lawyer who works 24/7 to prove her worth and become the first female partner at her law firm. Romance was not among Tisha's life goals despite multiple suitors of that was the case until Q, Tisha's first love, is hired as an intern in the same company. Tisha tries to hide her past feeling to Q. She is certain that this old flame, if reunited, will obstacle her rising career. However, love slowly blooms between the two of them, despite differences in ages, position, and social status. Will Tisha choose her love or her lifelong goal? So you can watch more about that love. The next one, To Me, It's Simply You. A man returned home to recover from the bustling city life and reclaim the things that he took for granted. However, he is made to work through a farming challenge with the help of his friend and family. Without realize it, he gains back something more valuable. So you can watch more about To Me, It's Simply You. And the last one, Naki. Naki tells the tales of Kumkel, a girl born mysteriously in Don Mai Pa village. During the solar eclipse, the hidden supernatural power. Meanwhile, archaeology student Tosapon finds himself enhanced by the Naki goddess so much so that he gives up everything to stay by her side. However, their love faces obstacles from family and superstitious villages. As the story unravels the mystery of their past lives and reveals an 1,000-year bit of revenge is unleashes. So you can watch more about Naki and read more information from entertainment part in China News Asia. And the time is up for today. A Beautiful Life. Please join us on every Monday here on englishonline.rmutp.ac.th. Your host has been อาจารย์เกษม พุทธเรืองศรี You are welcome to subscribe our channel on englishonline.rmutp.ac.th. Thank you very much for joining our program today and see you again next Monday สวัสดีครับ
Beautiful Life will be back again next Monday.